Electric vehicles are on the brink of a major transformation thanks to Toyota's groundbreaking new engine. This innovative engine, in the works at Toyota, is poised to be the most eco-friendly engine to date, set to shake up the EV industry. So, how Toyota's new engine is going to reshape the entire industry? Let's find out. Well, you might not believe it, but Toyota's new engine runs on water, which shares similarities with their fuel cell EVs like the Toyota Mirai and hydrogen-powered internal combustion engines. Water-powered engines have long been a goal in the car industry, promising advantages over traditional engines and EVs. Numerous attempts have been made to create viable and reliable water-powered engines for everyday use, but most fell short. Toyota, with its substantial resources and testing capabilities, is about to change that narrative. So, how does this water engine work? It's similar in concept to the HHO generator, but with some tweaks to make it practical for daily vehicle use. Essentially, it operates much like a hydrogen combustion engine found in vehicles like the Toyota Yaris GR-H2. Instead of using pre-processed hydrogen, this engine creates a chemical reaction to separate hydrogen from oxygen through electrolysis. This process occurs when the electrodes in the water tank generate high voltages. The advantage here is that the hydrogen is stored within the water, eliminating the need for heavy armored tanks, a common feature in FCEVs and hydrogen combustion engines. Once separated from oxygen, the hydrogen is fed into the engine, where it burns much like compressed natural gas. This means adapting fuel injectors for compressed gas and reinforcing components like cylinder heads, pistons, and valves, as hydrogen is highly combustible. The need for these robust components arises from hydrogen's combustible nature, which can make its detonation challenging without stronger engine parts. What are the long-term environmental benefits of water engines? Firstly, they have nearly zero emissions, akin to regular internal combustion engines and electric vehicles, yet more convenient than the latter. In fact, they outshine other engine types in terms of convenience. All you need is access to water, and refueling is cost-effective. This technology significantly reduces the demand for oil extraction. If water engines become mainstream, the only segment still likely to employ fossil fuels might be heavy machinery or large power production units. Moreover, water engines eliminate the need to extract rare metals from the earth. Currently, mining these metals heavily pollutes both water sources and the surrounding soil, rendering the immediate area uninhabitable. Comparing water engines to hydrogen combustion engines and fuel cell electric vehicles, also marketed as zero emissions, reveals their superiority. Storing water is simple and requires minimal effort, whereas storing hydrogen is far more complex, requiring specific conditions and significant expenses while posing greater environmental risks. Hydrogen gas, in its pure form, is challenging to contain and can easily leak from a vehicle's tank if irregularities occur. This necessitates reinforced tanks, constant monitoring, and regular maintenance. In contrast, the water-powered vehicle's fuel tank can be virtually any plastic container. Storing hydrogen outside of the vehicle is also cumbersome, demanding ideal temperature conditions and considerable durability, resulting in higher costs. In contrast, distilled water is readily available in well-stocked supermarkets, or can even be produced at home with basic chemistry knowledge. Acquiring pure hydrogen is an expensive process, and the associated challenges with hydrogen storage contribute to the higher cost of hydrogen-powered vehicles compared to electric vehicles and traditional fossil-fueled vehicles. In practice, water engines are indeed suitable for daily use. Contrary to the misconception that they lack power, water-powered engines perform on par with most gasoline engines, and can, in theory, generate even more energy than conventional internal combustion engines, up to 3 times more. They are also safer, as they do not store highly combustible fuels within the vehicle, eliminating concerns about fire or explosions. Their relatively straightforward mechanical design is only slightly more complex than standard gasoline engines, making them relatively easy to produce. Water engines offer significant advantages in terms of simplicity and cost-effectiveness when compared to both electric vehicles and fuel cell electric vehicles. Their inherent characteristics make them an excellent choice for developing countries with limited development and scarce oil resources. To illustrate, an Iranian scientist, Aladdin Qasemi, successfully converted his Peugeot 405 to run on water, showcasing the practicality of this technology even in resource-constrained settings. If someone working independently could transform an old car into a functional water-powered vehicle, it's intriguing to consider what Toyota could achieve with substantial funding. Water-powered engines, besides being easy to produce, also prove to be highly economical when compared to both gasoline-powered vehicles and EVs. However, since water engines are not yet mainstream, and no other car manufacturers are actively pursuing this technology, the question arises, are water engines the future? Hypothetically, yes. Water engines may indeed represent the future of transportation. However, the reality is more complex, as water engines have faced numerous challenges in the past. Key among these are logistical issues. While the infrastructure would require minimal adjustments, the engine technology itself remains experimental, with most functional prototypes exhibiting unreliability and mediocre daily usability. Additionally, the conversion of water into hydrogen and oxygen raises safety concerns, given hydrogen's difficulty to contain. Even a minor system leakage can pose serious and potentially fatal risks. Furthermore, if Toyota were to develop a reliable and safe water-powered car, there is a potential threat from lithium mining companies, battery manufacturers, and notably, oil companies. Water as a fuel could significantly reduce the use of fossil fuels in everyday life, and diminish the need for mining rare and costly elements like cobalt and lithium. This could disrupt some of the world's most profitable companies, such as Rio Tinto, and they might actively discourage further development of such engines. Still skeptical? Well, there are whispers of Toyota having already accomplished this feat some 25 years ago with the creation of the first fully functional water-powered car. Stanley Allen Meyer, the inventor, claimed that he and his brother were constantly in danger and faced unceasing threats, presumably from individuals representing oil companies who felt threatened by the widespread adoption of the water engine. Allegedly, Meyer was even offered millions to destroy his vehicle and associated plans, never to speak of it again. However, Meyer was a determined individual who openly opposed major oil conglomerates. One fateful evening, while dining with two Belgian businessmen who expressed interest, Meyer suddenly rushed out of the restaurant, clutching his throat. His brother, present at the time, followed him. Later, his brother disclosed that Meyer had informed him the businessmen had poisoned him, and he passed away. Official records cite his cause of death as a brain aneurysm, but the circumstances remain a subject of dispute. Just a few days after his untimely demise, his car and the plans for the engine vanished from his garage, never to surface again. As much as we would love to see Toyota pursue this engine, it's uncertain whether this will happen in the foreseeable future, if ever. Even if Toyota is genuinely working on the engine, they are likely doing so in utmost secrecy, which is why there are no official confirmations regarding the project to date. While the idea of a car running on water is fascinating, history is filled with mysteries and unanswered questions. The lack of definitive proof or official confirmation from major automotive manufacturers like Toyota keeps water engines in the realm of speculation and guesswork. The concept of water as a fuel source holds great promise. It is readily available, cost-effective, and has a minimal impact on the environment. Water engines could be a game changer, especially for regions where oil resources are scarce or underdeveloped. The potential to revolutionize the automotive industry and reduce our reliance on fossil fuels is compelling. However, transitioning to water engines is not without its challenges. The need for a robust and reliable infrastructure to support these engines remains a concern. The experimental nature of the technology and past issues with reliability create a barrier to mass adoption. In a world where traditional engines and electric vehicles are well established, introducing a new type of engine faces considerable hurdles. Safety is another significant aspect of the water engine discussion. The process of splitting water into hydrogen and oxygen raises questions about containment and the potential for leakage. Hydrogen, as a highly combustible gas, requires strict safety measures, which can add complexity and cost to the technology. Addressing these safety concerns is crucial for water engines to gain public trust and regulatory approval. The controversy surrounding water engines extends to their potential impact on established industries. The reduction in the need for oil extraction and the diminished demand for rare elements like cobalt and lithium could disrupt the balance of power within the energy and automotive sectors. This disruption might face strong resistance from powerful entities with vested interests in the status quo. The case of Stanley Allen Meyer serves as a cautionary tale. While the circumstances of his passing are disputed, it underscores the challenges that pioneers in alternative energy technologies may face. The history of groundbreaking inventors confronting adversity and obstacles is not unique to Meyer's story. The potential for water engines to challenge the dominance of fossil fuels and traditional automotive technologies could spark opposition from influential players in these industries. In an ideal world, water engines represent a significant step toward a more sustainable and environmentally friendly future. Their simplicity, cost-effectiveness, and environmental advantages make them an enticing prospect. However, the reality of introducing water engines on a global scale is a complex and multifaceted challenge. If Toyota or another major automaker were to pursue water engine technology, they would need to navigate these complexities while maintaining secrecy to protect their research and development efforts. The existing automotive landscape, including the dominance of electric vehicles and internal combustion engines, further complicates the path to widespread adoption. So, what are your thoughts on Toyota's new engine? Tell us in the comments section, and be sure to subscribe for more content.